What's up, everyone? Vu of Envu Films, and I'm back with another idiotic video for you to watch. And I'm here today to talk to you about how to get paid doing videography, doing filmmaking, and being that douchebag cinematographer that you've always wanted to be ever since you were a little kid, getting nice breast milk from your mom. Now, let's just go ahead and I'm going to just put this out there. I'm not the end-all, be-all resource, okay? I'm going to just talk from my experience and how I went from an unpaid piece of videographer trash to one that is paid and able to support his family with the money he makes doing filmmaking, videography, or douchebag cinematography, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to just tell you how I did it. And hey, if you find it helpful, great. If you don't, you go ahead and spend money on some masterclass on how to get paid doing this crap. So, that being said, let's get to it. How did I start getting paid doing videography? Well, how did I start videography in the first place? My wife and I got married. She wanted a wedding videographer. I got one. He was expensive. He did a good job. I liked the video. I got inspired by it. I decided to buy a camera to film family stuff. Not that dirty family stuff. I'm talking about like vacations, life experience, things of that nature. And I got carried away. This was back in 2013, 2014. It is 2021. So I've been kind of doing this for the past 7 years now. I filmed the first thing I ever did was I filmed some random vacation. It was like our honeymoon, went to Jamaica. I did this travel video. At that point, I've never seen Sam Coulter. Had no idea what M31 Orange Teal LUT was, and I have no idea what a backflip looked like until Sam Coulter. But at that time, I did this video. I posted on Facebook just for fun. I got some encouragement from friends. I'm pretty sure he was just being nice, but he said, "Hey, Vu, you did a very good job with that video. You got some talent. It's an amazing video." And just from that little nudge, it just pushed me forward. Okay. So thank you, hun, for saying that I had made a good travel video. That was completely nice of you. And I knew you're just being nice. Now that I look back at that trash video that I created, you're just being nice, but that helped push me, propel me to where I am right now. You know, you got to start somewhere. You got to start practicing. And so how do you start getting paid? How do you start getting paid gigs? Well, first you have to figure out what you're worth. And if you have never gotten paid for video work before, if you have, maybe you haven't even bought a camera, maybe you haven't even tried yet. You know what you're worth? You're worth absolutely nothing. You are a piece of trash, noob-stir videographer. You have no credibility. You're trash. You're not worth anything. So I was the same way. I was worth completely nothing. I was a complete piece of trash. I'm still a piece of trash now, but just not as trashy as I used to be. And that's the main goal in life, is to just go from like straight dumpster trash to slowly being just trash. And you know, trash that is worth paying for. What did I do? Well, I really had no direction. I had no idea what I was going to do. I was an accountant at the time. I was actually doing full-time accounting up until about like late 2018. So it's just recently where I went full-time videography. But went to a wedding, a friend's wedding, and I noticed that he did not have any videographer there. It was just a photographer. And I bought my camera, just like most douchebag guests, you know, who has like some type of camera. They're bringing the camera, you know, getting the photographer and videographers away. But I didn't. I stayed out the way. I sat in showed up during ceremony, and I sat, you know, with all the other guests, and I decided, hey, I'll just film their ceremony for them. So as I started filming their ceremony, I actually filmed the rest of the night through the reception. And I decided to make a quick little highlight for them. And, you know, it turned out pretty good. I mean, it turned out pretty bad, but I guess for what I did, it wasn't bad. They liked it. And there I had some sample of what work I was capable of doing with just one camera and one 50mm lens. And then that same friend's brother, he had a wedding, and, you know, I decided, hey, you know, I don't mind doing this video for you for free too. So I did that video for free. So I did two, kind of, one is just kind of like half-assed, and the one actually I showed up as a quote-unquote vendor for free, and I did their wedding, and I had that in my portfolio. And then my wife, you know, all these things just kind of happen, you know, to perfection. That's why God always has a plan, all right? And that's why I trust in him with everything. As much as I BS, and I'm very sarcastic, and I say a bunch of trash stuff here, I have a lot of trust in what God is providing with me with. So my wife had a friend who got married, and I did her wedding for free. So now I have done 2.5 weddings for free, and I created some type of portfolio for myself. Me being curious and just wanting to see if I can get paid for something like this, I went where I always make fun of guys, right? I always say you're trash, you're a Craigslist shooter, you're a thumbtack shooter. Guess where my douchebag ass started? Okay, I went to Craigslist and someone was looking for a wedding videographer, and they had this budget, and they had like this specific style they wanted, and the style they wanted, the websites they linked to the style they wanted are like $3,500, $4,000 videographers. This is what they want, but they also don't want to pay that much. So in the wedding videographer community, they think all people who charge like nothing are like a bunch of douchebags. And let's be real, if you've been in the industry for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and you're still charging $5, 6, 7, 8, $1,000 wedding videos, you are probably trash. But I was just starting off. You have to start off somewhere. So they had a budget of $1,000, and they wanted this type of video, and I said, hey, you know what? I'll do this for $1,000. Hey, this is the quote. I'll do your videos for $1,000. At the time, it was like a highlight video and a documentary video, full day coverage, over 12 hours. It's craziness, I mean, if I thinking about doing that kind of work these days for that price is ridiculous. But to be honest, that's probably what I was worth. My skill level, the gear that I was using, single shooter, trying to do all this stuff by myself. That's probably what I was worth. But I felt confident enough that I could pull off close enough quality to what the $3,000 to $4,000 videographers are pulling off with my skill level and my camera. So that's what I did. And coincidentally, someone else saw one of my other videos that I created, some random family thing, and they recommended me to another friend of theirs that were looking for wedding videography, and I charged $1,000 for that too. So I ended up doing two $1,000 weddings back to back on the same weekend, and that's how I started getting paid for doing video. And from there, keep going, keep shooting, and keep improving. And I started charging more and more. And now on average, I charge $4,000. Usually at least $4,000 for wedding video. I have a second shooter, Say Park. You know him. He's on YouTube as well. That's all it is to it. I mean, you have to be a piece of trash and just charge nothing for your work. And it seems like you're charging nothing, but you are charging something. Instead of getting paid, you're investing in yourself. I never went to film school. All I learned from was really wedding film school. At the time, it was Craig Adams and Matt, who was Matt with the big old beard, Johnson. So that's who I learned from on YouTube, and that's why I really appreciate YouTube, and I try to give back myself based on what I've learned throughout my career. I feel like I have something of value to give people on this platform. That's why I have this YouTube channel. But pretty much, hey, like let's say you're just a really talented dude and you can create $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 worth of wedding videography, but you have no portfolio. If you have no portfolio, you have no proof of what you're capable of doing. So instead of charging, you just want to get into the business, lower yourself and invest that potential $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 into yourself by just shooting the dang video for free. And then you know what you're capable of, right? And you freaking nail that video. Now you have a portfolio to create a website. I'm a wedding videographer. Bam. Come to my website. If I have some tips for you, some massive mushroom tips, have a website. It's like $12 a month, if that. The cost of a Netflix subscription. If anything, just cancel your Netflix subscription, cancel your HBO Max, cancel your Pornhub subscription, whatever you're paying for, and just spend it on the website. Okay? And then, bam, you look more professional. You have like some contact information. You have your own custom website, so it's not like freaking, douchebagvideographer@gmail.com. It would be, your name, Chu Sum Wang at douchebagvideos.com, and it looks more professional. So that's one thing. And then, you have your portfolio. In filmmaking and this creative space, especially since you're not working for some corporation, film school, your degree, the technicalities, you go around and go in Facebook groups and talk about gamma curves and all this crap. Matter of fact, I still have no idea what the heck gamma is and all that stuff. Like, I always see, dudes posting about, oh, this color space, this picture profiles, this gamma curves. I don't even know if they know what the heck they're talking about. I'm just kind of like, whatever. I mean, if it looks good on my screen, I guess it's okay. As long as there's not a bunch of zebras everywhere, as long as it's in focus, I got no problem. Like, I really don't know anything about that. So the only credibility you have as a creative is really your end product, the work that you create, right? Your portfolio is your ticket to getting a job. Matter of fact, my wedding portfolio is the ticket for me to get my current job as a film and photography director for a marketing firm here where I live. So that's my main salary job. My wedding portfolio is what got me that job, not my freaking film school degree, not, some certificate. I gave them my website, my Vimeo, and that's what they used to hire me. So, and that's how you get client gigs, sometimes, yeah, you may, if you know somebody, if, in this firm, or you want to get some government contract, yeah, if you know somebody, it helps. But at the end of the day, guys, you need that portfolio. And the only way you can get portfolio out is to actually shoot an end product. And whether it be doing a free wedding, whether it be a free corporate gig, or whether just shooting a documentary about your friend, whoever, you just need to create something and have something on your website for people to look at, because or else no one knows, what you're capable of doing. You could walk around with a big old Sony Alpha 1, big old FX9, FX6, and think you're a hotshot, but what can you create with that camera? You know what I mean? Like, what can you produce? You go on Facebook groups and talk about gamma curves and color grading and all these technicalities, all these exposure compensation, ND filters, zoom whoosh transitions, M31 LUT, what picture profile makes brown poop look less or more or less brown. Who cares? What are you creating? What portfolio do you have? That is what is going to give you paid gigs. With that being said, I am not the most talented asshole in the planet. I'm not afraid. I can't edit like Sam Coulter. I can't do cinematic coffee B-rolls like Peter McKinnon, and I can't set up a bunch of, crazy product B-rolls like Daniel Schiffer. I don't have a massive penis, but my penis works. I have 2 kids and it works perfectly fine. With that being said, just understand where you're coming from. Understand the shooter that you are. All right. Most of us, in our case, wedding videographers, a lot of us are solo shooters, right? So I think it's perfectly fine if you don't know how to freaking color grade. You could buy LUTs, right? Use S-Cinetone in your douchebag Sony camera, just like I'm using S-Cinetone right now to film this douchebag video. And, there you have, you don't have a colorist. You're not a true colorist. You have this LUT to help you out. You don't have a focus pooler. You're filming by yourself. You have this Sony a7S III autofocus to help you out. If you're not sure how to put together a story, just literally copy someone else's story. That's exactly what I did. The first wedding video that I did, I had no idea how to put together this wedding story. I actually just went to my wedding video that my videographer did for my wife and I just copied that exact timeline and just did it for this new couple. And it worked out fine. And the more you do this, as you go along shooting videos, you start developing your storytelling abilities. Or, it actually just comes out. Like, maybe you already have some natural storytelling abilities and you're able to do it. And look, you don't have to be the most talented, crazy, naturally talented artist on the planet. You could definitely always make money doing this craft, okay? Is there a cap? Maybe there's a point where you plateau, where, other more talented videographers, photographers won't plateau. Yeah, that does not mean you're not going to make decent money. If you want to make a good living, as long as you know where you're at, as long as you're humble with your skills, as long as you're aware of your strengths and weaknesses, you can figure out how much you can make. Sometimes you get lucky and, you get to film some famous person's wedding video and, you get famous like that. Bam. You do some big YouTuber thing and your video goes viral. Bam. You automatically get credibility. No matter how good or how talented you are, no matter how good your wedding video capabilities are or whatever, sometimes you get lucky. Who knows? But you have to put in the work. You have to have the drive to get better. Freaking look up other dudes' websites, see how good your videos are, see how theirs are, and just be honest with yourself. Are you this good? Are you able to produce the same level of work? And then you figure out how much you could charge. Figure out what your market is. There's a lot of different ways to get into this game. Like I said, there's not the end all be all method, but that's just how I did it. It worked for me. And to be honest with you, I think if it worked for me, it should work for you, because I'm just, just standard ass dude. I was doing accounting. Yes, I have art background. I can draw and paint and all that stuff as a kid, but never touched a camera in my life until 2014. So anything is possible as long as you want to do it. As long as you find you like it, you're passionate about it, and you want to improve your skills, you could definitely succeed doing videography. And yes, I do understand that I do live in America. There's a lot more opportunities here than, let's say, third world countries like Vietnam, and they're flip-flop wearing rice patties. But the truth is, if where your country allows, if you're capable, there's a will, there's a way, for lack of a better word. So with that said, guys, I hope this helped you get started. I hope this helped give some insight on how I started. As always, if you like this crap, please like and share it with your friends and family. Share it with your mom. I'm pretty sure she's tired of looking at your dad and she wants to look at this hot Asian sex appeal of myself. Share it with her and subscribe to this channel. Greatly appreciate it, guys. Till next time, lighten up.